true.
Yee.
And we're live. Here we
Yes,
go.
we are.
First episode, Getting Jicky with the podcast, episode 1, the finale. Liking that title. Obviously, we got some Ozzy going over there.
The special
Perfect song
one-time
choice,
podcast.
one of my favorites. That is true. It's sad that it has to be one time. Maybe we can
Maybe
make
it doesn't have to be, though.
Maybe it doesn't have to be. Who knows? Let's figure this out as we go along, because that's how the best things go.
Depends on how well this goes, so... About to.
That's true. And depending on if anybody's in chat right now, letting us know if it's going good, then we'll know what's going on. But as of right now, VSST final, need to get that done, and that's the idea where this came from. Amazing
Yes,
design
this
of the
is
room by.
Oh,
You good? Go.
what? Oh yeah, I was gonna say this is not at all what I normally stream. So if that's what you're expecting from this Rocket League or casting, yeah, that's not at all what this is. So, well, it's just gonna be a little different today. We like to be different in here, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. Different isn't bad. Different isn't bad.
No.
It's just different.
No.
All right. VSST final. Colors, shades, tints, and hues. What's the deal with those, Nikki?
I mean,
What do you
there's
got
a
for me?
lot of there's a lot of deal with that. I mean, there's like just look around you. Like the color,
That is true.
right?
Color.
Everything is color. I have
Wait.
a very colorful keyboard with lights. Like it's just all around you.
Your shirt. That's a
My
red
shirt.
and
This
I have
is
a
color.
blue
Yes.
shirt.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Whoa.
It's funny because you ever see how in games a lot of times there's red and blue characters, right?
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
Now that you say that.
Yeah, now that we
right.
haven't planned this out, and this is all just
I don't think we
segue.
did. I don't think we did plan anything out. No.
But yeah, red and blue in games shows up a lot, especially when it comes to like Halo. That's one of the biggest ones, at least that I can think of, that everybody would know.
Yeah, Halo definitely an example that we can pull up here real quick.
Halo 2 Combat Evolved is a 2004 Xbox exclusive. You remember that? Remember the big old Xbox you needed the adapter to connect to?
Remember how it used to actually be Xbox exclusive and now it's not? Like, isn't it like you can actually get
it's Xbox and PC? Okay,
man.
Listen, okay, you want to call it Xbox? Xbox owns
changed.
PC, man. They own PC.
True. That's true.
But here, you got red and blue right there. You got Nikki and me. That's exactly what it is. We actually went out earlier in Lancaster Walk on here at campus.
We built some, those suits ourselves.
Effects that we added in.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that's the only thing that's not real is the glare.
Only thing. But it's been a trope for a long time. I mean, I can't even think of how long. Red versus blue, good versus evil. I mean, even going back to like Star Wars, back in the 70s, that was the main thing. It was red versus blue, good versus evil. There wasn't really any between there. Exactly. I'm not going to bring mine out because it's purple, which is, the best one, but I'm not going to go into that now. But yeah, this is one of my favorite examples because everybody takes the red and blue from video games, I'd say from Halo. At least this is the earliest example that I can think of, but then you get later examples like different things like you play Rocket League, it's orange and blue, but it's almost the same,
Well, they're always, I mean, I think one thing that we normally see it as is it's always like a warm color versus a cool color is kind of like what you end up seeing a lot. It's very, makes it very distinct as to what team is what.
Warm color versus cool color. Isn't there a brand that has good chips that has a nice cool flavor to them, Nikki? Anything about that comes to mind at all?
We can talk about that later.
We're gonna bring that up later.
Yeah, well, we could also talk about. There's a game though, where not only is the color getting into the like actual look of the game, but even the storyline. If I'm right about that.
Ooh, no, you are right about that 100%.
Do you know what I
think you're talking about
maybe if we hint towards it a little bit by pulling something up, maybe just a little hint as to what it may possibly be.
I don't know. I think the big Russian guy in the top right kind of gives it away.
Who gives it away?
The big Russian guy in the top right corner. I think he gives that away. But yeah, Team Fortress 2. One of the most popular games on PC, one of the best free games of all time, let alone probably one of the best in some people's opinions. I'm not going to weigh in on that, obviously, but yeah, the red and blue comes into not even just the regular game, but it's the whole storyline that's behind it too, to sort of give it a little bit of credibility when it comes to when you're playing it. So it's not just red and blue like how Halo is. It's like there's not
Hmm.
really a reason why they're red and blue in Halo. Like, do you know anything about that at all, Nikki? Or
I don't know what the actual backstory is, but like, I mean, again, like you were saying earlier with like blue and red is just like usually like bad and good, and that's kind of that's
yeah,
probably where it first kind of came from. Maybe they took inspiration of movies and stuff. Who knows?
um, probably that's what I'm thinking for right there. But also, it's the warm versus cool, like you were talking about with the red and the
Hmm.
blue. Almost, they're not they're not opposites of each other, but most of the time when you ask somebody what's the opposite of red, they're gonna tell you blue most of the time because of this
Hmm.
representation of media here. But um,
Yeah,
Team Fortress 2 does a great job at just flipping that on its head a little bit. It's not just good versus evil. They have red versus blue because they're going to be flipping sides or on opposite sides,
yeah.
obviously. But they gave it a little bit of the two brothers, red and blue, ironically their names. Um, and then they have those two separate sides that
Definitely
have
not done
conglomerates
on
and
purpose.
companies. Exactly. Not done on purpose at all. No, just ironically named red and blue and just happens to be those colors. It would be funny if they were flipped
Hmm.
though. Like if the red
Yeah,
guy had blue agents and stuff like that.
might get a little confusing. Maybe just a little bit though.
Not at all. Man, you just didn't. You just don't get the lore, man. Come on.
Yeah. I think though, I think there are definitely though like certain games will like to kind of use the colors to distinguish the teams in different ways. Like in this situation it's kind of like what brother's side are you on almost, and like in Rocket League, I know you brought that up. Like, no matter what
Yeah.
you're doing, if you're on the orange team, you see yourself as orange. If you're on the blue team, you see yourself as blue. But there's also a lot of games that, again, kind of follow the good versus evil when you're looking at the things. A lot of shooters do this, like Call of Duty is the first thing that comes in my mind, is like you're always blue or like green, depending on like what your settings might be. And the other team is always red, and vice versa. Like they
Yeah.
always see themselves as blue and always see you as red.
Nikki, I feel like you're dropping in on some serious psychological aspects here to war. And I don't know
Yes.
if we have qualifications to do a deep
I don't know
dive
if we
into
have the
this right
brain
now.
power either. I don't know if we have the brain
I
power to
don't
do
think we
that
do.
either. It's like there's too much with that.
Um, yeah, that's I was thinking of the colors that were pretty, and you're talking about war and
Yo,
the different sides and how they all see each
yes.
other as the good guys.
I mean, color has so much
Just
power. There's like so
it
much to
does.
it. That's why
It
you have
does.
to
That's
go so
marketing.
much into it.
That's legitimately the basis of
Yes.
marketing right there.
And now, do we want to? I
Like,
mean, speaking of marketing and using a lot of brain power, maybe we
speaking of
want to talk
marketing,
about food and how
I am always down to
maybe
talk about food.
a certain chip brand might do certain things. So we can go ahead and
What chip brand might that be, Nikki? What chip brand might
maybe
that
the
be?
one on the screen,
Oh,
Doritos. Maybe just maybe that one. I mean, this is
that
just
might be
like
it.
one big example. I think. I mean, as us gamers, definitely wouldn't recognize Doritos. I mean, you can't. Hashtag not sponsored, by the way. But
Well,
hey,
why can't we
Doritos,
be?
if you want to, I'm
That's
open.
always the option.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is also another. I mean, this kind of transitions nicely here with just the red and blue, especially them fighting each other in this picture. But one thing I kind of
Fighting.
noticed, well, yeah, it's a war. But one
I
thing
was assuming you were
I'm
saying either or.
maybe, oh, who knows? I don't know. But like food, I mean, foods and like I feel like candy is a big one to think of. Like having colors to it. Like no one, like when you think of Gatorade, and someone asks you what your favorite Gatorade is, you don't say what the actual name of the flavor is. It's like blue Gatorade. It's like
I'm a
that's
psychopath
how
that does that
important
though.
the color is. It's like you only think about the color, not the actual name of it.
Yeah. Nikki,
Yes.
you wanna judge me for a half second?
Oh no.
Um,
If it's
I
yellow,
I
you're
like
if you
Glacier. No. I like Glacier Freeze.
oh okay, no, that's fine. I
I'm a
like Glacier
Glacier Freeze
Freeze.
kind of guy.
Bro,
But
you
there's
wanna
two
I have an empty
separate
Glacier
kinds.
Freeze bottle right next to me actually.
Don't either tempt me with that. That's just evil right there.
I mean,
But I have
I
to say
mean, if you
Glacier
want to see
Freeze because if I
it.
say I don't, it's gonna tempt me. I gotta say Glacier Freeze. I can't just say give me the white Gatorade because like
I
if
think
I say
well
give me the
no,
white
like
Gatorade, they're gonna give me the other one.
okay. Do you like Jolly Ranchers or like Skittles even? Like
I
they don't
love
even
Jolly
like
Ranchers.
you never with like Skittles
There's
you
flavors of
never think
Skittles.
of
I
the
just thought they were
flavor.
just Skittles flavored.
Yeah, yeah no, but like it's like there's the red ones like orange like
Yeah.
you don't call them by whatever like flavor there are. It's like oh I want the cherry ones. Like no, I want the red ones. I
Which
don't
ones
even.
are the cherry ones? It's like
I'm
which ones are
assuming red
watermelon?
is.
They're watermelon ones?
Is there a watermelon
Could be
one?
strawberry too.
I think. Well, I mean, there's different types of them, which gets into even more
Yeah.
colors, or like different like.
We're gonna get down to which
hues.
one's the best one?
Man, there's too many. Do we want to?
Too many. I don't. You know that's
There's too
totally
many
up to
different.
you.
I
I'm gonna
think the
let chat
standard.
decide on that.
What was that?
I'm gonna let chat decide what's the best Skittles flavor. But you can tell
Yeah.
me what yours
Who?
is right now.
Everybody, let us know what your favorite Skittles color is. I like how we were just talking about blue raspberry. How is that is that a Skittle?
Ooh.
Or I guess
That's not
that's
even
one
a
of the
real
like the
fruit. You know
special
that,
ones
right?
though. Yeah, no, I know it's not.
You
Oh,
know
for
that
Jolly
blue
Ranchers,
raspberry is not
blue
a real
raspberries.
thing.
That's best. Yeah, it's yeah.
That messed me up. Like when I learned that blue raspberry is not a real thing. Yeah, like I forget
You're kind of mad.
hearing that. Yeah. It it
I
it made me want to make a blue like in a lab,
mean,
just
like
like
blue
get a
raspberry
blueberry
is
and a
like the
raspberry plant.
best. See, and that's how powerful like blue. Except, I mean, I was gonna say like blue for like all candies, like or like drinks. A lot of times, like that's the go-to. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. My Doritos, I gotta go. I gotta go nacho cheese. Or what's the like? Isn't there like spicy nacho? That one's good. Like the darker red.
Wow.
Those ones are good.
No, that's the chili, the sweet chili, sweet hot
No,
chili. I think that's it.
I I think there's one that's called
Purple.
spicy nacho. That's good, but the cherry
I'm a Cool
Skittles
Ranch
and the
kind of guy.
regular red. Cool Ranch. I
Dang.
like Cool Ranch too. You know, have you ever
And we
actually
can't have it
now we're
both.
getting away from color and we're getting stuck on food, so maybe we should move
I
off of
know,
this
because I'm
soon.
hungry.
But you know what's really good like to use Cool Ranch Doritos for? Have you ever had
What's
have
that?
you ever had sausage dip?
No.
No?
What's that? No,
It's
I
like
haven't.
it's a chip dip. Scramble knows all about it. But it's yeah, it's like I
You can
don't
change it
even
back
know.
to
Like
probably
what is it?
the.
Cream cheese, sausage, and then something else. And it's just like scrambled in the chat is gonna have to explain it. But I mean, or what you can do is you can Google it. You see what I'm doing
That is
there?
true. Google
See what I'm
is an
Google?
amazing source of information. Google is. You can do whatever you want with
like
that.
this Google right here?
I mean, like that Google right there with the primary colors and yellow
Yes.
and
So
green.
okay,
Jeez, I'm in an
I was
RGB
about to-
kind of mood.
so do you know anything about the colors? There's something I didn't tell you beforehand that I found pretty interesting.
Yes.
Do you know anything about why the colors are their colors here?
Okay. I'm gonna guess that the left side is obviously the primary colors and the right side's RGB. Does that have anything to do with it?
No. So
Okay, then I have no gut
and
input.
I used Google to actually find this information, but so they used the three primary colors because I mean like you know you got the classical triad right there, like you can't get away, like it works well together, right? I mean that's the first thing, and also it's like I know we're talking about like sometimes brands will pick specific colors to look like to give people certain feelings, and so like yellow can be like happiness with it.
Yeah.
Red can be like they can be exciting or like thrilling, like it gets your heart going kind of thing. And then blue can be seen as like trustworthy kind of thing. And so but the green. There's something that's just like the green. Just like
Yeah, it
why is there
stands
green?
out
Right?
different. It
Do you want
doesn't
to
look
know?
natural there.
Do you want to know why there's a green?
I'm guessing it's something to do with catching your eye, but be my guest to tell me why
So
I'm
the green
100%
is
wrong on
actually
that.
there. The green is actually there just because Google can break the rules. They just break the rules. They're different. That is the
That's
why.
legitimately it.
They
You
because
just said,
so be yeah, behind it, like they want to show that they are very innovative and they're very like they'll
yeah,
break rules to kind of like, I mean, maybe not laws kind of rules, but maybe even they do. I don't know. But
I mean, probably.
we don't need to get too political about it. But yeah, no, that
Whoa.
is why, because like they get out there and they want to break rules. They want to be the first. They want to do things that no one else thought to do. And so like that's why they just threw random green in there, because they can break the rules. And
Okay.
it fits. So that was a lot more than you
Not
were
gonna lie,
expecting, wasn't it?
that's a little underwhelming to just know that they threw the green in there just because one guy probably was in the conference room and he was like the CEO's nephew and he said, I like green. Like that's probably what happened.
But then
Um,
you have to put a backstory to it. So maybe that is what happened, but then they put a backstory to it to make it seem more
well, yeah, they're
reasonable.
not gonna say nepotism's the reason. They're not gonna say that outright, you know? They're gonna cover that up. I want to
Yeah,
get an
and they covered up
investigation on
very
Google
well with
right now.
this great story that I googled that could possibly be very wrong. Don't believe everything you see on the internet, but I'm believing this.
Why do you think the internet's there? It's to believe everything on it, obviously.
I mean,
All right. Um,
can be.
who knows? You ever see how ordering on the internet's gotten a lot easier, especially with like marketplaces or even online food and stuff
Yeah, I
like that? Like,
have noticed.
fast
Yeah,
food's
like things
been
like DoorDash. You
opening
always
up.
see ads for it.
Yeah. Or like even just restaurants getting their own apps where you can just order it before you get there. Like
Yeah.
McDonald's gets their one app that you
Oh,
just order it
McDonald's.
before you even get there. Yeah,
Wait, they do that?
they
That's
order
kind of
and
cool.
they get there, and then you order your food and you could just pick it up right in the parking lot. Oh wow, that's ironic. That's right there in front of us. The
Yeah,
golden
it's weird that it
arches
happened to
of
like pull up right as we
McDonald's.
were talking about it.
I don't know. You know what's funny? I think you have a thing where whatever we talk about can pull up magically on your screen.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
I think it's like some magic trick, because I mean, like, we didn't plan
Alexa,
anything. We
Siri.
didn't plan anything before this,
No,
so we're
no.
just we're just
Mm-mm.
talking.
Rolling through the wind.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's crazy how they were able to do that. And Nikki, I heard that you had some fun fact about the golden arches themselves. Do you want to enlighten us about
So
this?
I do have a pretty good. I mean, well, obviously, like the golden arches specifically, the classic M.
Mhm.
That's
Classic
that's a symbol of itself. I mean, just the yellow arches. I mean, anytime you
monument.
see that, you think McDonald's. I mean, honestly, like McDonald's has grown so much that when you see yellow and red together, you just think McDonald's, even if the McDonald's logo isn't in it. I mean, it's just like
Ink bomb.
that crazy. I mean, but again, there's reasons behind why they picked these colors, and so red and yellow. We saw them with Google, and the reason McDonald's ended up picking them is the red is, again, it's a very stimulating color. It being associated with like being active, and again, that can kind of increase your heart rate. And when your heart rate starts going, you get you need some food, and so it can jumpstart
You know
your
what's funny?
appetite. What is funny?
Typically, typically people who eat at McDonald's a lot, you wouldn't want their heart rates going up too much, would you, Nikki? That doesn't seem like a
Yeah,
good
no.
marketing plan there.
Yeah, if it's someone
No.
who eats there a lot, probably not the best idea.
Gotta get a little too excited one of these days, and then McDonald's gonna have another court case on their hands.
Yep, they're gonna have to change the color. One day they're gonna change colors. We're predicting it
It's
here
gonna be
now.
blue,
It's gonna be blue and
nice
yellow.
and cool,
It's
nice and
gonna be blue
cool.
and yellow. They're not gonna get rid of the golden arches, because the yellow is still always gonna be for happiness, just like we were talking about before with the Google yellow.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
See, that's a whole nother thing,
Um,
is sounds, man.
it is true. You got the
Can
jingles that they make from a lot of different companies and stuff like that, and even
Yeah.
just symbols like this. It's a simple M, But you show this to literally anybody in the country, they're gonna know what it is. And
I mean, even outside of the country, like globally,
do that.
Like it's
I
just
wouldn't say
known.
everybody in the world, but like a good percentage of the world would know what a McDonald's logo looks like, unless somebody's from like an island off in the middle of nowhere that hasn't been visited
Ever
by,
exposed to any
exposed.
franchise.
Even then, you never know. You never know.
Even then, yeah.
With the amount of trash in the ocean, maybe they washed up on shore with like some egg McMuffins.
That is true, and maybe they have Google.
They just throw. They have a bird named Google, like a parrot that just tells them whatever they want to know or something.
A pigeon, it's a carrier pigeon, and that they just like it flies all the way to the closest
4 days to respond.
Large body of land. Yeah, it takes 10 days to send a text to somebody in the U.S.
You up? What else? What else? I don't have any more segues, Nikki. I'm getting tired of this creativity of segues. Do we have?
I don't know. Maybe other people are gonna have to give us ideas. Maybe
that is true. I'm getting tired of being creative.
Yeah, maybe we rely on other people being creative.
That's a great idea.
Our chat seems
Nikki.
pretty creative.
Anybody have any ideas of what they want to talk about? Anything at all? Any questions, comments, concerns? Or if you just want to, tell us how good this podcast is, we're always open for that too.
And maybe we'll even get to pull you in if it's that good. And you happen to be in our class.
Can he do this? Can he do this? All right. We're good. We're good. You can bring people in. Had to go to the upper ups,
Do we have anybody waiting at? We can maybe ping everyone in the Discord.
Nat is saying she can't.
TV.
She's texting me saying, "Oh, we have a caller."
Oh, do we?
We have a caller from Natalia Gomez. Hey, Nat, you're on the air.
Hello.
Is it picking up, Nick?
Yeah, it is definitely picking up.
Picking up. All right, Nat, you got any questions, comments, concerns, or compliments? Because we are two good co-hosts on the show.
Yeah, I really just wanted to know, like, what do you have to say about the optical illusions that can happen with color? I just want you to guys talk a little bit about it.
Nikki, I think she's talking about simultaneous contrast.
That is a possibility. I mean, there's so many illusions. So, but do you have? It sounds like you might have a example of this. Do you?
Nat,
did you have fun doing yours?
Is there anything? Did I have fun doing mine? Yes, I did for the class. Do you have an example of one of your favorite simultaneous contrasts, Nat or Nikki? While we have Nat on the line, did you want to pull up any examples from, say, Nat's folder on the VSST Spring shared folder?
It is very possible that I could get to that.
That's
so if you want
to, would that be kind of?
Oh, I kind of lost her. There we go. Oh. Nat, when we're talking about simultaneous contrast, you might be almost correct on that one. I think it's similar to the colorblind test that you'd be using, because you would have colors surrounded by other colors. So depending they be lighter, darker, or just complements of each other, they can have different effects around the same color, making the other colors seem different when in fact they could be the same. Is that enough of a commercial voice there?
Yeah, that's really fun.
That's a great commercial voice.
I hope your podcast goes well.
Thank you, Nat.
In 2 days.
Thank you. We'll see you in 2 days. Do you care if we pull up your simultaneous contrast? Because you did have really good ones. I'm not even gonna lie. Nods and you don't care?
If you want to.
I would love to.
Are we pulling up 1 like 2 or 2 like 1?
All right.
What are we pulling up here?
I'll see you, Nat. All right, we're pulling up our simultaneous contrast, which should be in P5 towards the end. Nat wanted us to show them off a little bit.
Yeah, is that are we doing, that's like the 1 like 2, 2 like 1? Which one do we want to?
1 like 2, 2 like 1, exactly. Yeah. We can show the 1 like 2 or 2 like 1.
Let's show let's show one color like 2. But it might take me a second to get this
Well,
pulled
that's
up
totally
here.
fine.
So is there
That
anything
is
you
totally fine.
wanna say here while we're getting this all pulled up?
Yeah. Let's talk
Anything?
about basically the class as a whole so far, Nikki. What are your where are you at with color as you were in the beginning of the quarter and now? How would you say your knowledge of this has increased,
My
decreased, stayed the same?
knowledge, if it definitely hasn't decreased, I can say that
Yeah.
much. But I don't know if it necessarily increased too much. You know what I mean? Like I guess it made me think more. I don't know if it about color. It's not necessarily learning, more about, like color theory kind of thing, but definitely like you think a lot deeper. I mean, like when we were looking at the logos, like there's a lot more in depth to it. And now you're just going to start staring at all the logos and wonder like, why did they make it that
Like
color?
red.
Red, my shirt. Yes, this one.
Blue.
You had to get there. You really wanted to just point at something, right? All right, I can pull up our.
I did. It's
thing
very
here now.
satisfying to do that.
Let's
Watch
go
it.
ahead. It's
me up.
It's a little low res, but Nat can only do so
That's
much.
fine.
So there's so yeah,
No.
that is one color that looks like 2, right there.
I really like this one that Nat did because out of anybody that did them that I saw so far, I don't think I've seen everybody's, but I feel like this one did a great example of the one like 2, especially with the purple and red being so close in shades. You notice that? It's more of a red violet than it is anything.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, I think it looks really good too in the like actual picture thing rather than like the examples at the bottom. Is that just me saying that? I feel like seeing just like the bottom 2 squares or 4 squares, I guess, because there's 2 squares inside 2 other squares, but I feel like that one doesn't look as good as
not
when
up
they're
on the screen right now.
On the same thing. Oh, you can't see it in there. All right, let's go. Let's try to. Let me resize.
I get what you mean.
A little bit here.
For those watching or listening, he's talking about the boxes that show the actual palette of colors that was used on this piece. There we go. Perfect. Yeah,
so
that you could see. Yeah,
looks a little better in my opinion in the full thing. Maybe that's like it's kind of one of those things with the illusions. They're not always going to work. You have to get just the right setting for it.
That is true. That's half of magic right there, getting the right setting. But you can tell on the bottom in the more purple, red, violet area, that's more of a lighter green than the red, which is a darker green. And it's like noticeable on the bottom. You can visually notice that, but then when you look up at the actual piece, it's a lot harder to notice that. And that's just a good job right there doing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I almost want to say
you don't
like,
happen to have the 2 like 1, right?
I can get that really quick. One thing I was gonna say, okay. I feel like looking at that, I know I just pulled it off, but it kind of gives me that like the hard edge kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like sometimes when you look at it, it's like you can see things jumping around because like the colors are just so contrasty, I guess, is kind of the vibrating edge. That's what it was. Is that what it is? I think it's like a hard edge vibrating edge.
Yeah. When you have complementary colors that are interacting with each other and they leave an almost fuzzy sense around them, so it almost tricks your eyes to think motion, and that's what happens a lot of times with just optical illusions of pictures that you think are moving, but are 100% still. That is one of the main ways that people do that, and also just weird other things that I'm not qualified to talk about because I don't know how they work. All I know is that my screen just goes twirly at some points.
Yeah. All right, I can pull up our one color like 2, or is this another one color? I think this is supposed to be, I don't know. I guess she has 2 of the same thing here. So
No, the last one was a 2-like-1 because this is the same thing. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
the last one was one oh yeah, one color. Yeah, I don't know. They both say one color like 2. So maybe we're getting tricked somehow, and because of that, we have no idea what it is. For me, these look like they're the
I
same.
think this is supposed to be 2-like-1.
Oh yeah, this is supposed to be 2-like-1 because if you look at them at the bottom, there we go. This one actually looks pretty good. That looks solid. Like in the full thing, like
we weren't able to
it's
tell.
hard to see it different. Yeah, for the fact that we couldn't, that just says it right there, like how good it was.
That just says it right there.
It just says it right there, all right there.
I don't know if anybody else has any questions or anything to bring up. I would be glad to hear them. Anything in chat going on?
Can take a couple more
just claiming
questions
my
if there's
channel bonuses
anything.
on your account.
Oh, are you? Okay, thanks for the sub, by the way. You subbed.
Yeah, you should
here.
return the favor. I'm kidding. You don't have to. I had a free sub waiting, and I thought, Nikki is doing the Jicky show.
Say it's a Prime sub. I have Prime, but it's a free trial Prime, so I don't have it. I don't have a sub. I already used it up. I only got one.
I've yet to use my student what are they called? Like I only use like the free things like one time. Like you know how students get like free stuff a lot of times, like accounts or like trials and stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, you also get discounted prices and stuff too. You've never done that
exactly. Yet? No, I haven't. I've yet to use that. I don't know how or where or when or whatever to use.
We need to have a talk after this then.
Did you only get the dragon card to get free stuff?
No. I don't need that.
Let's talk about the dragon
getting
card.
free stuff. You only need the email. Do you want to see the dragon card?
Talk about the dragon
Is this something
anyway.
That we need to see?
Are we gonna get a dragon card reveal on stream?
Do I need to cover anything on this? I don't think so.
I don't think so. It just says student. If you wanted to cover, just give me your social security card while you're at it, and then we should be even. Call it square.
Here's the dragon card.
There it is.
I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, the small out of focus dragon card.
It's kind of it's also kind of getting keyed out because of the yellow, but the yellow part is kind of getting keyed out because I have a green screen, but green color, yellow color.
I like the stadium. I'm just noticing that.
Yeah. Thanks.
I'm thinking that's all I have.
I think I'm good too. As we got through all of the stuff that we definitely didn't plan for.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty good. And I guess since we don't have any more questions, I guess we can you want to wrap things up for us here?
Yeah, I'll wrap it up right now. All right, everybody, thank you for watching the Getting Jicky with It podcast with John and Nikki. Get it, Jicky. You can find my Twitch. It's just Gallon J. You have his, which is not over there because I'm mirrored. It's over there on the bottom. You can follow him, and who knows? Maybe we'll see an episode 2. But for now, this has been the Jicky podcast, episode 1, the finale. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.